It's been a while. First of all, let me apologize for any background noise. I just now moved into a new place. It's an apartment complex and things can get a little noisy. I really wanted to make a new video this week, and it's been almost impossible to find a perfect time during day or night. So I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna make a video, and I hope that things can remain relatively quiet for 10 uninterrupted minutes. Maybe that's hoping for a lot. So I'm sorry I've been away for a while. Life's just been really busy, but I'm starting to get settled into the new place, and I hope that my schedule will stabilize enough that I can start making videos at least semi-regularly again. I think the guinea pigs are eating straw over there. I hope it's not popping up in the background too much. Like I said, it's just hard to find a time when there's going to be perfect silence. During the day, people are running around the apartment complex and making a lot of noise, and the guinea pigs are nocturnal, so at night they're moving around a lot more, but I think me whispering is waking them up. So, anyway, I think there's three main reasons that people watch the channel. There's the Magic the Gathering videos, there's the mumbling videos, and there's the unique role plays. I think I've found a few types of ASMR videos that not a whole lot of people are making, but there is a demand for, and I'm really glad that I can meet that need. One thing I wanted to apologize for is I don't know how often I'll be able to make the roleplay videos, because it can just be hard to come up with a script that's going to be unique and use a lot of ASMR triggers, and it can be difficult to track down all the interesting props and stuff. I do plan to make them from time to time, but for the most part it'll probably just be magic. I mean, that's easy enough. I can always just pull out a deck that you guys haven't seen yet, case in point, or I can get some packs to open. Mumbling, same thing. I can just do a magic video with a mumbling element added to it. Okay, you can definitely hear the guinea pig chattering over there. I'm sorry. I hope it's not too disruptive. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to make videos again. I feel bad that it might just be magic and mumbling over and over, but a lot of people seem to want that, and I guess it would be better to just make the same type of video again and again than it would be to just make no videos. And that's how it's been the last 7 or 8 months or so, and I feel bad for that, so I'm gonna try and make videos more often. Another thing I wanted to say was thank you for all the new subscribers. I think I jumped from about 100 subscribers to about 280 during my absence. I feel bad that my subscriber base is more than doubled during a period where I wasn't even making videos, so that's part of why I really wanted to try and make some videos again and be a little more regular about it. This video is going to be a lot like my earliest videos, where I'll just go through a deck and show you what I've built here. This is a standard red and black vampire deck. I call it my Malkavian deck, and 10 bonus points to anyone who can get that reference. I'll just go through and kind of talk about things as I come across them. Let's see. This is Olivia, mobilized for war, flying 3/3. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, I may discard a card to put a +1/+1 counter on that creature, and it gains haste and becomes a vampire. This deck runs a lot of discard shenanigans. This is Era Falkenroth. If I can get the camera to focus, I apologize for any blurriness. Discard a card to transform Era Falkenroth. In order to transform a card, you just flip it around. So if you discard a card, it changes from a 2/1 into a 3/2 chances. This is a 1 red, 2 colorless for a 4-1 with when it deals damage to a player, +1/+1 counter on it. That's not bad. But I really have it in here for this Madness. When you discard the card, you can discard it into exile and then pay its Madness cost to bring it into play. So it's really like you're not even discarding it in the traditional sense because you get to play the card anyway. So with cards like this, I'm discarding cards out of my hand for cool stuff, but then I'm not even really paying the cost because if I've got the mana, I then just bring it into play anyway without losing the card advantage. So the deck runs off of that. There's cards like this that make me discard cards, and then a bunch of cards with Madness where I can just play them anyway as they're being discarded. This is a red and black land. The way it works is it enters tapped unless I reveal a swamp or a mountain from my hand. I'll just set lands over here. Here's another Madness card. 3 mana to make an opponent lose 3 life and I gain 3 life. That's not bad, but for Madness, 1 black for that effect is just crazy. Here's another air. This card is really good in this deck. 1 black, 1 colorless, 3/1 Madness for its regular casting cost. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, if that player has no cards in hand, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. This deck is built to be pretty aggressive. I have a lot of cheap cards and I tend to run out my hand very quickly. So being able to get a hand replenishment from this card consistently really helps. I have a playset of her in here. I really love the flavor of this card too because in Magic, the idea of your hand is that that's like the knowledge in your mind. Your deck is your library, your collection of spells that you can fall back on, but these are the spells like you know off the top of your head in your hand. So if you have an empty hand, it means like you're all out of ideas, and she's the Asylum Visitor, so she's coming to like places where, you know, minds are lost and empty, and then she's like pulling from that void. So that's why she's like producing new knowledge where there wasn't any before. Fiery Temper. It's essentially a lightning bolt with Madness. You have to pay 3 for it normally, but if you're doing Madness, 1 red to deal 3 damage to target creature or player. Anytime you can get lightning bolt into standard, that's pretty useful. Stensia Masquerade. Attacking creatures I control at first strike. That's really good in a aggressive deck. If it's a vampire, it gets a +1/+1 counter when it deals damage. So that creates a really upsetting situation for them because they don't want to block because my creatures have first strike and the blocker will probably just die without taking anyone with it. But alternatively, if they just let the damage go through, the vampires are going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And then to top it all off, it's got a Madness. So if I discard it, I can just play it anyway. So it fits really well into this deck. More lands. Vulcanwrath Gorger. 2/1. Each vampire has Madness equal to its converted mana cost. So most of my vampires in here have Madness already, but there's some that don't. Like Era, Vulcanwrath, and Olivia, so he'll give Madness to the ones that don't have it already. Lightning Axe, this is great for removal. As additional cost, you have to pay 5 mana or discard a card. So for 1 red, I can kill anything that has up to 5 toughness, and that's just a great removal. Particularly with a deck like this, where the game is gonna go pretty quick. It's rare that anything will hit play that's bigger than what this can kill, and the disadvantage of discarding a card means almost nothing, because I'll just get to play it anyway. It's another Lightning Axe. I have a playset in here. I would like to keep a lot of removal in my decks. Another Asylum Visitor. If I have more than 1 Asylum Visitor in play, they each trigger separately. So if I've got 2 out, I'm getting 3 cards on my upkeep if I have no cards in hand. And it also triggers on opponent's upkeep. The only downside is you're losing a life, and it is mandatory. So you can run yourself out of life if you're drawing too many cards too rapidly. But between Alms of the Vein giving me life back and a couple of other life gaining cards I have in here, I can usually compensate enough that I'm not running my life out. There's another Blood Mad Vampire. Lightning Axe. Another Masquerade. I only have 2 Olivias in here right now. I might pick up a third one. Another Gorger. Okay, this one is really useful. Call the Bloodline. Pay 1 to discard a card and put a 1/1 vampire token into play. These have lifelink. So like I was saying earlier about the life gaining, I gain a decent amount of life back just from throwing these into play and using them for chump blockers. What's useful about this card is that it's such a cheap discard effect. I just need 1 extra mana. And I can do it at will. I can only do it once per turn, but I could always use it once on my turn and then do it again on my opponent's turn. I'm getting to activate it at instant speed, so it's good for being able to activate a madness cost at will. So I don't have to wait for like an Era of Vulcanroth or Lightning Axe. I can just, if I've got this in play, just any time I've got spare mana, I can start triggering off madness effects. This card plays really well off of this one. This deck, for the most part, is built to win the game quickly and efficiently, but sometimes the game will drag on a bit, and this is about my only late game win condition. You can pay 1 life and tap 5 mana to put a 1/1 human cleric into play. That's kind of crappy, but its second ability, if you pay 5, tap it, and sacrifice 5 creatures, you can transform it. So if I've had this in play for a while, I've usually got quite a few vampires in play. So if things have gotten out of hand, and they've got big creatures that my vampires can't deal with, I can just sack a bunch of them to transform this. He becomes a 9/7 flying lifelink indestructible haste. So that can really turn the game around. Let's see, another Call the Bloodline. Another Call the Bloodline. I might be out of cards at this point. I think it might just be duplicates from here. The deck has a lot of play sets in it. Let me see if there's anything new in here. Okay, yeah, I've got a couple of these. Incorrigible Youths. The deck needed at least a few more bigger creatures, so this is a 3 madness cost for a 4/3 with haste. So that adds just a little bit more punch to the deck. And yeah, looks like that's about it. So I'll try and make videos a little more often. It might just be a whole bunch of Magic the Gathering with mumble videos sprinkled in here and there, but that seems to be what a lot of people are requesting anyway, so I hope that'll meet the demand. I'm sorry I've been gone so long. I really appreciate all of the new subscribers. A lot of you probably subscribed to me months ago, and I've just never popped up in your feed, so I mean, I appreciate all the support, even during my absence, and I'll try to do better about making consistent videos. I really appreciate it, guys. Have a great night.